Let me ask you a question. When was the last time you sat down for 30 minutes and did just one thing? No music, no phone, no notifications. Just one task.
That sounds like a dream, Leo. But for most people in 2026, it is almost impossible. Our brains are changing. We are living in a world where everything is trying to steal our attention.
You are right. Think about it. We wake up and the first thing we do is check our messages. We eat breakfast while watching short videos. We even go to the bathroom with our phones. We are never truly present anymore.
It's like an invisible thief. This thief steals our time, our focus, and our ability to think clearly. Have you noticed how hard it is to read a book now? You read one page and suddenly your hand reaches for your phone. You don't even know why you're doing it. It's a reflex.
That is because of the 5-second rule of the modern world. If something is not exciting in the first 5 seconds, we move to the next thing. We scroll, scroll, and scroll. We are looking for a dopamine hit, a tiny feeling of happiness from a like, a comment, or a funny video.
But here's the problem. These tiny hits of dopamine make our brains tired. By the end of the day, we feel exhausted, but we didn't actually achieve anything. We feel busy, but we are not productive. There's a big difference between the two.
Exactly. Productivity is about deep work. It's a term we will talk about a lot in this series. Deep work is the ability to focus without distraction on a cognitively demanding task. It's like a superpower in 2026 because almost nobody can do it anymore.
If you can master this superpower, you will be ahead of 90% of the world. Whether you are learning English, studying for an exam, or building a business, focus is your most important tool. But it is a tool that is currently broken for most of us.
In this 8-part series, we are going to fix that tool. We are going to talk about why our brains are so distracted and, more importantly, how we can fight back. We are going to share our own failures and the secrets we use to stay productive in this noisy world.
This isn't just a podcast about productivity, it's a guide to taking your life back. If you feel like you are losing control of your time, stay with us. This first step is the most important one.
So, before we continue, do one thing for us. Put your phone in another room, or at least turn it face down. Give us your full attention for just a few minutes. Can you do that?
If you can't do that, then you definitely need to listen to the rest of this series. Let's dive into the psychology of distraction. Are you ready, Leo?
I am focused and ready. Let's start the journey. We talked about the invisible thief of our attention, but today we need to ask a very important question. Why? Why is it so hard to focus in 2026? Is it because we are lazy, or is there something else happening?
That's a great question, Leo. A lot of people feel guilty. They think, I have no willpower. I am weak because I can't stop checking my phone. But I have some news for you. It's not just your fault. You are fighting against some of the smartest people and the most powerful computers in the world.
Exactly. We call this the attention economy. In the past, companies sold products. Today, they sell your attention. Every minute you spend scrolling on an app, someone is making money. These apps are designed by psychologists and scientists to be addictive. They use the same techniques as slot machines in a casino.
That is a scary thought, Leo. You mean my phone is like a tiny casino in my pocket? Every time I pull down to refresh my feed, I am basically pulling the handle of a slot machine to see if I won a new notification or a funny video?
Precisely, and our brains love it. Our brains are hardwired for novelty. We love new things. Thousands of years ago, finding something new was important for survival. But in 2026, the internet gives us something new every half second. It's like a fire hose of information hitting our faces.
And because of this, our brains are constantly looking for the next hit of dopamine. Dopamine is a chemical in our brain that makes us feel good when we discover something interesting. The problem is, once you get used to that fast speed, normal life feels, well, boring. Reading a book feels slow. Studying English feels slow. Having a long conversation feels slow.
This is what scientists call context switching. We jump from a work email to a WhatsApp message, then to a YouTube video, and back to work. Each jump costs us energy. Studies show that it can take up to 23 minutes to fully refocus after a single distraction. Can you imagine that? One quick check of your phone costs you 23 minutes of deep brain power.
Wow. So if I check my phone 4 times in an hour, I am never actually focused. I am living in a state of continuous partial attention. I am half there, but half somewhere else. No wonder we feel so tired at the end of the day, even if we didn't do much work.
That is the trap of 2026. We are connected to everything, but we are focused on nothing. The companies want you to stay in this state. They want you to stay distracted because a distracted person is easier to sell things to.
So, the first step to winning this battle is understanding that your brain is being attacked by design. It's not just a bad habit, it's a system. But don't worry, because in the next part, we are going to talk about the solution.
That's right. Now that we know why we are distracted, we can start talking about how to build a shield. In the next part, we will explain the concept of deep work, the only way to survive and succeed in this distracted world.
Stay with us. The battle for your brain has just begun, and we are going to help you win it.
So, if the world is trying to steal our attention, how do we fight back? There is a solution, and it is called deep work. This isn't just a fancy phrase, it is a specific way of working and thinking that can change your life.
I've heard this term before, Leo. Does it just mean working hard? Because I feel like I work hard every day, but I still don't get everything done.
That's exactly the mistake most people make. Deep work is not about the amount of hours you work, it's about the intensity of your focus. Think of your brain like a flashlight. Normally, the light is wide and weak. It covers everything, but it's not very bright. Deep work is like turning that flashlight into a laser beam. A laser can cut through steel because all the energy is concentrated on one tiny point.
I love that image. So if I am deep working, I am focusing 100% of my energy on one task, like studying English or writing a report with zero interruptions?
Precisely. If you are doing deep work, your phone is in another room. You have no extra tabs open on your computer. You aren't listening to music with lyrics that distract you. It's just you and the task. On the other side, we have shallow work. This is the opposite. Shallow work is checking emails, attending boring meetings, or doing small tasks while your brain is half asleep. Shallow work is easy, but it doesn't make you better at anything.
I see. In 2026, most people are masters of shallow work. We are very good at looking busy while doing almost nothing important. But deep work is where the magic happens. It's where you actually learn a new language, write a book, or solve a difficult problem.
And here's the secret. Because deep work is so rare now, it is incredibly valuable. If you can train your brain to focus for 2 or 3 hours a day, you can do more than most people do in a whole week. It's like having a superpower. While everyone else is busy scrolling and jumping from one app to another, you are producing high-quality results.
But it sounds difficult, Leo. Our brains are not used to this anymore. When I try to focus on a difficult English grammar lesson, my brain actually feels like it's hurting after 10 minutes. It's like my mind is trying to escape.
That's normal, Mia. It's like going to the gym for the first time in years. Your focus muscle is weak. When you start lifting weights, it hurts, but if you keep doing it, you get stronger. Deep work is a skill you must practice. You can't just decide to be focused for 4 hours if you haven't practiced for 10 minutes first.
So it's not just about the environment, it's about training the brain to be comfortable with being bored or doing something hard.
Exactly. We have to learn to embrace the struggle. In this new economy, the people who can sit in a room and focus on a hard task are the ones who will succeed. The rest will just be distracted consumers.
I want to be a producer, not just a consumer. I want that laser beam focus. But I know you have a specific system for this, Leo. You're always so organized. Can we talk about how we actually start doing this in our daily lives?
We definitely can. Knowing what deep work is the first step, but having a strategy is what makes it real. Let's look at the practical side of this.
You're right, Leo. I used to be the person who checked her phone before even opening her eyes in the morning. I would spend 30 minutes in bed just scrolling through news and social media. By the time I actually got out of bed, my brain was already tired and full of other people's lives. I felt like I was starting the day behind everyone else.
I think millions of people do the same thing, Mia. It's a very hard habit to break because your phone is usually your alarm clock too. So what changed for you? How did you stop the morning scroll?
I had to change my environment. You see, willpower is like a battery. It runs out. If my phone is next to my bed, I will look at it. I am not strong enough to ignore it. So my secret strategy is very simple. I bought a physical, old-fashioned alarm clock. Now my phone sleeps in the kitchen. It is not allowed in the bedroom.
That is a huge move. So when you wake up, you don't have that immediate dopamine hit from the screen?
Exactly. For the first hour of my day, I am analog. I drink my coffee, I look out the window, and I write down my top 3 goals for the day. This is my deep work preparation. By the time I sit down to work at 9 a.m., my brain is calm. It's not jumping around like a monkey. And when I start working, I use a physical timer on my desk. I set it for 25 minutes.
Ah, the Pomodoro technique. But do you actually stay focused for those 25 minutes?
Most of the time, yes, because I made a deal with myself. During those 25 minutes, I can't even stand up to get a glass of water. If a thought pops into my head, like, oh, I need to buy eggs, I don't stop. I just write it on a piece of paper and keep working. This is called brain dumping. It keeps my focus on the main task.
That's a brilliant tip. Often we get distracted not by the phone, but by our own random thoughts. By writing it down, you tell your brain, I won't forget this, but right now we are busy.
Exactly. And I also use focus mode on my computer. In 2026, every device has a setting to block distracting websites. I have a list of illegal websites during my work hours. If I try to go to a news site or social media, my computer says, no, go back to work. It sounds strict, but it's the only way I can protect my attention.
It's not strict, Mia, it's necessary. You are designing your environment so that focus is the easy choice and distraction is the hard choice. Most people do the opposite. They make distraction easy and focus hard.
Exactly. I realized that if I have to choose to be focused every 5 minutes, I will eventually fail. But if the distractions are physically far away, I don't have to choose anymore. I can just work. This simple change, moving the phone to the kitchen, doubled my productivity in just 1 week.
It sounds so simple, yet so few people actually do it. They're afraid of missing something. They have FOMO, the fear of missing out.
But what are we really missing? A cat video? A mean comment on a post? In reality, when we are distracted, we are missing our own lives. We are missing the chance to do something great.
Well said. Mia's strategy is about the morning and the environment. But I have to be honest with you and our listeners. Even with a good environment, I had a massive failure recently. I want to talk about that because even experts get it wrong sometimes.
Oh, I remember that day. You were so frustrated. Let's talk about why even the best systems can break if we aren't careful.
It's easy to give advice, Mia, but following it is the hard part. A few weeks ago, I had a very important project to finish. I had a deadline and I needed to write a 2,000-word report. I told myself, okay, Leo, today is a deep work day. No distractions.
I remember that. You were so confident that morning. You even had your coffee ready and your desk was clean. What went wrong?
I made one tiny fatal mistake. I thought, I am a professional. I have strong willpower. I will leave my phone on the desk just in case my mom calls or there is an emergency. I didn't turn it off, I just put it next to me.
Oh no, I can see where this is going. The emergency never happens, but something else does, right?
Exactly. For the first 20 minutes, I was doing great. I was in the flow. The words were coming easily, but then My screen lit up. It wasn't even a sound, just a tiny flash of light. It was a notification from a group chat about a dinner plan for the weekend.
And you thought, I'll just send a quick reply. It will only take 5 seconds.
Precisely. I picked up the phone, typed, "Yes, I'm coming," and was about to put it down. But then I saw another notification, a news headline about a new movie, then a funny meme. Before I knew it, I was scrolling through a thread about how to grow lemons in your backyard. I don't even have a backyard, Mia.
That is the classic rabbit hole. How long were you on the phone?
When I finally looked at the clock, 45 minutes had passed. But the worst part wasn't the lost time. The worst part was when I tried to go back to my report. My brain felt sticky. I couldn't remember where I was. I kept staring at the same sentence for 10 minutes.
There is a scientific reason for that, Leo. It's called attention residue. Even though you put the phone down, a part of your brain was still thinking about the dinner plan and the lemons and the movie. Your attention was divided. You weren't 100% back in the report.
That's exactly how it felt. It took me another hour just to get back into the flow. So my 5-second reply actually cost me nearly 2 hours of high-quality work. I ended up finishing the report very late at night, and I was exhausted and angry at myself.
It's a powerful lesson. It shows us that willpower is not enough. In 2026, the technology is simply too good at catching our attention. If the phone is visible, it is a constant battle. Your brain has to use energy not to look at it.
You are right. Even if you don't pick it up, just seeing the phone on the desk reduces your IQ and your focus. It's like trying to study while someone is waving a delicious pizza in front of your face. Eventually, you're going to want a bite.
So your failure proved your own theory. To do deep work, you must be 100% isolated from shallow temptations. No just in case, no just 1 second.
Exactly. Now I have a new rule. If I can see it, it can hurt me. My phone stays in a drawer in another room or even in my car if I'm really serious.
That's a tough rule, but it works. But Leo, we've talked a lot about the problems and the theory. I think it's time to give our listeners some very specific, practical tips they can use starting tomorrow.
I agree. Let's move from my failure to a real plan of action. What can someone do right now to build their own focus shield?
Okay, Leo, we've talked about the why and we've talked about our mistakes. Now let's give our listeners a real toolkit. If someone is listening to this and says, I want to change today, where do they start?
The first thing you need to do is a digital declutter. Think of your phone like a room in your house. If the room is messy and full of garbage, you can't think clearly. Most people have hundreds of apps and thousands of notifications. You need to be ruthless. Go to your settings and turn off every notification except for phone calls and maybe direct messages from your family.
That is so important. You don't need to know that someone liked your photo from 3 years ago. You don't need to know that a shopping app has a 10% discount right now. These are all attention traps. My rule is, if it's not an emergency, it doesn't get to make a sound or light up my screen.
Exactly. And here's another trick for your phone. Move all your social media apps off your home screen. Put them inside a folder on the second or third page. This adds friction. If you want to open Instagram, you have to consciously look for it. You can't just do it by accident while looking for your calendar.
I love that idea of friction. We want to make bad habits hard and good habits easy. Another tip I use is the not to-do list. We all have to-do lists, but a not to-do list is just as powerful. During my deep work hours, my list says no checking news, no cleaning the desk, no answering emails, and no quick YouTube videos.
That's a great psychological trick. By writing down what you won't do, you are making a contract with yourself. But we also need to talk about the physical environment. In 2026, many of us work from home or in noisy offices. You need a signal that tells your brain it's focus time.
For me, that signal is my headphones. Even if I'm not listening to music, putting them on tells the people around me and my own brain that I am not available. It's like a do not disturb sign for my head. Do you have a physical signal, Leo?
I do. I have a specific work lamp on my desk. I only turn it on when I am doing deep work. When the light is on, I'm a different person. I am a producer. When I finish my session, I turn the light off and I can go back to being a relaxed person who watches funny videos. It's about creating boundaries between your focus life and your scrolling life.
That leads to my favorite tip, scheduling. You can't just wait for inspiration or a quiet moment. The world will never be quiet. You have to steal your time. Block out 90 minutes in your calendar. Call it deep work session. Treat it like a meeting with the most important person in the world, yourself.
Most people treat their own time as optional. If a friend calls, they stop working. If they see a notification, they stop. But if you were in a meeting with your boss, you wouldn't pick up your phone, right? You need to respect your own goals as much as you respect a boss's meeting.
So true. And don't forget the power of starting small. If 90 minutes sounds impossible, start with 15. Do 15 minutes of pure focus, then take a 5-minute break. Then try 20. It's a training program for your mind.
These are all great practical steps, but there is one specific area where we are all failing the most: reading. Everyone says they want to read more books, but they end up reading 15-second captions instead.
Oh, that is a huge topic. Why is it that we can watch 2 hours of short videos, but we can't read 10 pages of a book? Let's look at the battle between the book and the scroll in the next part.
You know, Leo, there's one thing that really shows if our brain is healthy or not. It's a simple test. Can you sit down and read 20 pages of a book without looking at your phone?
That is the ultimate test in 2026. Most people fail it. We have become skimmers. When we look at a screen, our eyes jump around. We look for keywords, we look for the like button, we look for the next video. We don't read, we just scan.
Exactly. And this is why reading a physical book feels so hard now. A book doesn't give you a notification. A book doesn't have a comment section. It's just you and the words. But that is exactly why it's so powerful. Reading a book is like a massage for your brain. It forces you to slow down and build a world in your mind.
Scientists found that digital reading and paper reading use different parts of the brain. When you scroll through 15-second videos or short captions, your brain stays in a shallow state. You remember almost nothing. But when you read a book, you enter deep immersion. You start to understand complex ideas. You grow as a person.
I've noticed that when I spend my nights scrolling, I feel anxious. But when I spend my night reading, I sleep better and I feel more creative the next day. So if you are listening to this and you want to fix your focus, start with a book. Not an e-book on your phone, a real physical book with paper pages.
That's a great starting point. But Mia, we are at the end of our series. We've talked about the invisible thief, the dopamine trap, the deep work laser beam, and how to build a focus shield. Now it's time to move from listening to doing.
You're right. Knowledge is nothing without action. So we have a challenge for everyone listening. We call it the 24-hour focus reset.
Here's the challenge. For the next 24 hours, we want you to do 3 things. 1. Move your social media apps to the last page of your phone or delete them for a day. 2. Do 1 hour of deep work on something you love, maybe studying English with your phone in another room. And 3. Read 10 pages of a book before you go to sleep tonight.
Just 24 hours. Can you do that? It sounds simple, but it will be a battle. Your brain will scream for the phone. It will tell you that you are bored. But remember, boredom is the space where focus is born. If you can survive the boredom, you can win your life back.
In 2026, the world is divided into 2 groups. The first group is the distracted. They are the ones who just follow the algorithm. They are tired, they are stressed, and they never reach their full potential. The second group is the focused. They are the producers, the creators, and the leaders.
Which group do you want to be in? Every time you choose to put your phone down and focus on a difficult task, you are choosing your future. You are telling the world that you are the boss of your brain, not a computer program.
In 2026, the world is divided into 2 groups. The first group is the distracted. They are the ones who just follow the algorithm. They are tired, they are stressed, and they never reach their full potential. The second group is the focused. They are the producers, the creators, and the leaders.
Which group do you want to be in? Every time you choose to put your phone down and focus on a difficult task, you are choosing your future. You are telling the world that you are the boss of your brain, not a computer program.
This is the end of our focus series, but it's just the beginning of your journey. Don't try to be perfect. Just try to be 1% more focused today than you were yesterday.
We believe in you. Put the phone away, take a deep breath, and go do something great.
Thank you for listening to Two Voices English Podcast. Now, go turn that flashlight into a laser beam.
See you in the next one. Bye.
Goodbye.